чули, в Макао има бум на строителство. Там има 60 000 хотелски стаи и около 100 000 работници, много от които те взимат от тук, от Малайзия, тъй като там заплатата е около 4 пъти по-висока, отколкото тук в Малайзия.
Просто искам да поясня в момента, ако попитах за този 1%, който е по закон. Значи този 1% не е от общите приходи, а от 1% от разходите за човешки труд.
So the government is very proactive in that respect. So with the Visit Malaysia year, which is last year and this year, we have the Formula One, we have the Eye of Malaysia, which is the big Ferris wheel from the UK. We have many activities, so the government is spending approximately US dollars, I think about close to 200 million US dollars for advertising promotion. Not for infrastructure necessarily, but for promotion overseas for Malaysia. 22.5 million. They're looking, I think, in the next 5 years for about 30 million people coming in. Asia is a hub, as you know. Our neighbors are very competitive. Singapore is a very small country, but it's very expensive. The dollar is strong. We've got the third section of the new airport. They are just, for example, Formula One is going to Singapore this year for the night race. It's interesting for you to be aware. The rates in Singapore are much higher than Malaysia. One hotel, for example, the Old Holiday Inn, which is a 5-star, charges about 350 Singapore dollar. Not very far from US dollar. So say $300 for their normal rates. In Formula One, they're charging $600 in November from Europe, and the hotels are full, 100%. So the rates in Asia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Bangkok are very high. Don't talk about Seoul, Tokyo, Taipei, it's also very high. We are still the most economical, we're fighting with that, we're trying to push our rates up. So Malaysia is a very interesting destination. It has the beach, it has the mountains. I'm not sure how long you were?
8 days.
8 days traveling.
Traveling to Borneo after that to go to Kembao.
You have to see the orangutan, proboscis monkey, very interesting. But we have the mountains, we have the eco part of KK and Kuching, we have Cameron Highlands, we have the beaches, we have Langkawi, we have Angkor, we have the city, we have the Twin Towers, as you know, we have the Big Tower, we have a very nice airport, and we have a world-class racing track for Formula One, which has been here for a number of years. So there's a lot to do, and we have a lot of traffic jam. I'm not sure if Bulgaria has as bad as we have, but once you get out of the city, then the road connections to Thailand and to Singapore are very, very good. You can drive from here to Singapore. If you drive like Reggie drives fast, maybe 2.5 hours. You might get a speeding ticket, but you can do by car 2.5 to 3 hours down. And now with just to touch on a little bit the budget airlines, we have a low-cost carrier airport terminal, and with AirAsia, which you may have heard, since its inception 6 years ago, have flown 40 million people. The low-cost carrier, 40. The low-cost carrier is the #1 in Asia, and they fly only brand new Airbus. They don't fly old Fokkers or whatever. They fly brand new Airbus. And the flight charges from any destination, promotion, sometimes free, but you pay the surcharges. Sometimes they're $1, $2, $9, 99 cents. It depends on promotion. So AirAsia has been a tremendous boon to Malaysia and to Asia. For this country, 40 million in 6 years of flights. So they've taken over the MAS side, but MAS is doing the long haul. So that budget airline carrier has been a tremendous boon to tourism in Malaysia, especially in the Asian region. You have it in Europe. This is something new for Asia. 6 years.
Това, което прави правителството, което се опитва да направи правителството, за да подобрява и развива туризма тук в Малайзия е, че се организират много важни събития, едно от които миналата година тук се проведе едно от състезанията на Формула 1. Всички, вярвам, знаете, че тук е една от пистите, една от най-известните писти на Формула 1. Ние видяхме вчера, като пътувахме с автобуса към града. Също така много важен панаир от Великобритания се провел тук миналата година. Харчат се около 200 милиона, говорим за американски долара, само за реклама, предимно отвъд границите на Малайзия. Счита се, че в следващите няколко години около 30 милиона души ще посетят Малайзия. Естествено имаме и голяма конкуренция, тъй като Сингапур, въпреки че е малка държава, като размери, тя е много силна икономически и вярвам, знаете, че там и цената на средната цена за нощувка е доста по-висока, отколкото тук при нас. Имаме конкуренция от гледна точка на туристически дестинации, също така като Хонг-Конг. Но ние въпреки всичко имаме много неща, с които може да привлечем туризма. Имаме планина и много лесно може да се посетят. Също така нещо много интересно за тук, за Малайзия, е, че има много нискобюджетни авиокомпании. Те предлагат изключително интересни оферти. Може да си купите билет за $2, за 9, за 99 цента и естествено да платите само таксите, летищните такси. Това са промоции, които много често се предлагат в тези нискобюджетни авиокомпании. Също така искам да отбележа, че в тези авиокомпании самолети не са стари самолети. Те разполагат с изцяло нови Airbus, закупени специално за да превозват тези туристи. В рамките на 6 години са преминали около 40 милиона туристи през тези нискобюджетни авиокомпании.
Okay, I don't want to make too long a speech on some of the boring subjects, but just happy to answer some questions for you when I finish. But tourism is very important. Malaysia's expanding, growing, improving its tourism facilities. Our service is not at the level we would like it, but that's problematic because we, as I mentioned, we lose a lot of staff to the development around Asia, China, India, Dubai. You also know about the palms and the developments. Olympics this year in Beijing. So there's a lot of competition in Asia. There's a lot of interesting places to see. It's very competitive. We have to be very much on our toes. The hotel development in Malaysia is, beside Macau, most probably the strongest. We have another 3,000 rooms this year. We have approximately 3,500 next year into 9, and another 3,000 to 4,000 rooms into 10, just in the what we call where you are now, Kuala Lumpur, not including the whole of Malaysia. We have about 150,000 rooms in the whole of the country, with about 15 to 1,600 hotels completely. Population here is about 24 million in total, and I think we're trying to match up on the population versus arrivals of 1 to 1. We have 24 million, 25 million. We're reaching that level. Macau, just to make an allusion for you, Macau has 500,000 population. I used to work in Macau at the Hyatt before. But Macau has 500,000 population. Tourism is 25 million. So you can do the mathematics quite easily. It's a huge comparison. So of course, we can't do that here. And the paper yesterday in New York, last year, had 47 million visitors in New York last year. But we have the gateways, of course, I said, to China, to the Middle East, to Dubai especially, Doha, where the other games are being held. And the two big markets for us is China and India. India is a huge market. We have certain visa controls because we probably see a lot of people come and they don't want to leave, they stay. So we have about 2 to 3 million illegal workers and immigrants in the country, which gives the government a little bit of a problem sometimes. But tourism is a very, very important aspect. And again, MA plays a very important role with the government. There are three bodies. There's the Hotel Association here with the education arm. We have the Owners Association, we call MAHO, Malaysian Owners Hotel Association. Then we have NBHA, which is the Malaysian Budget Hotel Association, which has about 1,000 members, a little more. But they work with us because they're smaller, they don't have the infrastructure. But these are small hotels of 5, 10, 15 rooms with no bathrooms, but common bathrooms, that sort of thing. We try to control those from the vice perspective, from prostitution, gambling. So we use the Lord Mayor's office to give them the proper license, and as long as they're clean, security, and the people are safe, that's the most important. Okay?
Аз не искам да се впускам в много подробности, но бих искала да обясня все още няколко неща, които са свързани с туристическата индустрия тук в Малайзия. Определено услугата на туризма тук се подобрява. За съжаление не е достатъчно добра. Както вече казах, това се дължи на липсата на персонал, който бяга от Малайзия, предимно в Дубай, Китай. Знаете, че тази година ще бъдат Олимпийските игри в Бейджинг и много хора бягат там, за да могат да получават и по-голямо заплащане. Естествено, ние изключително много внимаваме това да не се повтаря и да намалим бройката на хора, които бягат натам. Тази година около 3000 нови хотелски стаи ще бъдат построени в Сингапур, в Куала Лумпур. За другата година се очакват още толкова, дори около 3100 нови. На първо място това е Хотелската асоциация, Малайзийската хотелска асоциация. На следващо място това е Малайзийската асоциация на собствениците на хотели. И на трето място това е Малайзийската бюджетна асоциация, така се нарича. В нея членуват по-малки хотели с по-малко стаи и съответно по-малка квадратура. Някои от тях, ние помагаме на много от тях да подобрят оборудването, което имат, и също така услугите, които са там, тъй като повечето са без лицензии. Издаваме лицензии. Важното за нас това е сигурността на гостите, които пребивават, които посещават тези хотелски стаи. Тяхната сигурност е от изключително значение за нас.
Всъщност те са три отделни асоциации. Не са клонове на Малайзийската асоциация, те са три отделни асоциации.
Just to round off, as I mentioned, with MA we have our training arm, which I can only be with you for another 15 or so minutes. I'd like to take some questions, but after that, then Sophia, who's the administrative executive here, I'm sure she'll answer any more questions on MA after I go. And Reginald is our COO from MATEC, so if you have some questions on the educational arm training, we are the main training provider, one of the main training providers, or the main training provider for an NGO in the country, and we have a lot of courses for our members and for non-members, more than 100 courses per year, and we associate with other education facilities around the world, so we have a lot of strength and we have a great deal of credibility. And we do a lot of courses, so Reggie may, after, enlighten you a little bit and answer any questions you may have on that side. So MA is, as I said, been here for a long time. We have a number of staff. The ED is not available because we have government meetings. Sometimes we have more than 100 meetings a month, which we share. The Secretariat has the ED, Sophia, Regional helps. In the structure of MA, we have a president who's just gone to ATF, who's in Bangkok. There are 3 vice presidents, I'm one of them, and a secretary and a treasurer. The treasurer really has no time. He's up in Genting. The secretary is quite busy, so between the 3 vice presidents and the president and the secretary, we have to attend a lot of government meetings. Sometimes they're useful, sometimes they're not, but as you can appreciate, we have to show face. We have to be there. And it's not just the tourism ministry. We have 6 or 7 or 8 ministries call us to go to Putrajaya for meetings, have input from the industry, and we have to to show face. So it takes a lot. This is all honorary. We don't get paid for all this, except Sophie gets paid and Reggie. But from the elected officials, we have an election every 2 years. So there's a lot of work in the Hotel Association, and we have chapters in every state. So we have 15 chapters with 2 link up. Polis is in the north, where small links up with Kedah, and KK takes Labuan, which is a very small place. So we have actually 15 sub-chapters of the association. So it's a very strong association, the strongest NGO representing tourism from the hotel perspective and the training side for the country. So I'll let our translator finish off that, and then if I may, if you have any questions, please feel free. And then I will leave you after that, and then Reggie and Sophia can answer any other questions on training and MAM as such. Just to finish it off, my president, Muhammad Ilyas, he would have liked to be here, but he just came back from his Hajj. As you may know, Muslims have to do one Hajj in their lifetime. It's 44 days, so he did that long one. And usually when they come back, they usually get very sick and they're nearly half dead when they come back. But he's done that, and ATF, as you may be aware, is happening on this weekend for next week. So he's had to go to Bangkok for ATF. So he would have liked to be here to greet you, but so how many staff do we have? Total staff? 13. Martech is a separate one.
13.
Mars, we have the executive director, Sajid Singh.
Също така Сарджит Синг, който
Sophia
е
is the
изпълнителен директор.
number 2, and then we have 11 other staff on PR, administration, government relations.
На второ място е изпълнителен директор по връзки с обществеността и още 11 други.
Yeah, the 3 associations, like the Owners Association has, I think, 2 staff. The Budget Hotel Association has 2 or 3 staff. It's very small. We have a full-blown, we've been here for many, many years, so 13, and they're all fully paid. We don't pay them enough, of course, but they will agree with me on that. They are fully paid. We pay increments, we pay bonuses, but we'd like to pay more, of course. The association collects around about US dollars, most probably 600,000 per year, in that range. So with that money, we run the operation. This building is completely owned by the association. So we've made that money, and we're looking for another building to buy. Our training aspect is much stronger. So we want to own our own facility, and we are the largest NGO, and we fully pay. There's no honorary. The only honorary people like myself, the elected officials, we are not paid. So the ones who work hard, they are paid. So 13. 600. Yes.
Асоциацията има изключително малко членове. Това, както вече споменах, са общо 13 човека, но служители. В асоциацията на собствениците на тези по-малките хотели имаме около 2 човека, които работят, много малък брой на персонала. А в тези пари ние сме взели тази сграда, също така искаме да построим изцяло нова сграда и модерно оборудване, което да се използва в името на развитието на туристическата индустрия.
За тренингите, кой плаща за тренингите? Правителството и хотелите или всеки си плаща обучение?
Who's paying for the training? The government?
As I mentioned, the hotels must pay a percentage of payroll into the fund. Then we have programs, and there are other programs, so the hotel will pay again and then get that money back. Or sometimes that training will be charged to that account. So in the training aspect, normally it's out of that fund will not cover enough, because some hotels cannot have enough money. So then they would pay, and then it's a deduction from the operation expense. But the hotel pays in the end. either pay to the ministry, pay back, or pay directly if it's not enough. Some hotels might put in $10,000 a month, but the training fees might be $15,000, so they have to then pay extra. Training is very important.
And what about the teachers and lectors?
Какво ще
Pay their
Кой
This
плаща
is,
на
they,
хората
no,
да
they
се
do the training,
обучават?
yes. We pay like if they
Извършват
work for us
тренинг.
through Martech, then those trainers are paid by, we collect the money, or Martech collects the fee, pays the trainer, pays the things, and makes a little profit. We have to pay Reggie's salary, of course. But we will, any trainer, lecturer is paid. We buy the course, we buy the materials, and we collect the money from each participant. Nothing is free.
Всъщност хотелите заплащат за тези обучения. Вече споменахме за този 1%, който се събира от всички хотели. Естествено, някои не могат да си позволят много високо, много скъпо платено обучение. Някои, да кажем, единият процент представлява около 10 000 долара, а всъщност програма.
This is paid.
Какво е текучеството при хотелския персонал? При обслужващия персонал, да сме предвид.
What is the fluidity of the employees? What is the fluidity situation of the staff?
Our staff turnover, it varies, I would like to say it's between 3 and 4%, but it depends sometimes on different hotels. Some will have a much higher, depends on management. I think the brand hotels, the more famous ones like Hyatt, Four Seasons, Starwood, staff would like to work for the international, multinational companies. So there's usually less turnover in those hotels. But on a good hotel, maybe 2 to 3%, perhaps. On not such a tight operation, maybe 6 to 7%, depending. But here we have nearly full, in this country, it's nearly full employment. If you take the newspaper, you'll see lots and lots of ads for jobs. So when you see so many ads there, and people don't take up the job, so we have, I think unemployment is less than 3.5%, 4%, and most of those people are not employable anyway. So our economy in that sense is quite strong. So say 2 to 3% on the better, maybe 6 to 7% if it's not, if it's rather fragmented or independent when the owner's involved too much and are not professional, so people don't stay, they don't want to work under those conditions. So, hope that answers the question.
Около 3-4% е текучеството на персонала. Естествено, зависи от това какъв е хотела.
There's such a high turnover, there's something wrong with the hotel. That means the management, doesn't matter if it's international, the management is not strong, it's too political, they don't follow policy procedures. If you're under 5%, then you're usually running quite a good operation if you're paying the right salaries, and paying the right service charge, and paying bonus, and paying things if there's profit. But if sometimes operation is busy, but the owners don't pay, don't give increment, delay bonus, so people don't stay. And the reputation goes out, so that's where the percentages goes up, anywhere from 7% to even, I'm told, 20%. If it's 20%, it's quite disastrous. There's something basically wrong with the management, because people don't leave if the place is good. They just will not leave. Service charge here in the big hotels, one of our hotels, a Citytel, is 600 rooms, it's 3-star. Salary is something like, say, $200 a month, for example, and the service charge would be another $200 a month. That's one of the highest service at one point. Somebody may have 5 points, so you've got $1,000 service charge and $200 in salary. So you pay like that, nobody leaves. They're looking for the job. And the bonus, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and the good times before, we paid 6 months bonus. And those times past, I remember we paid them 2 months and 2 months and 2 months. So 6 months bonus is a very, very strong draw. People don't leave. So when there's up to 20% staff turnover, that's something very sad. There's some inherent problem in that operation. doesn't matter what hotel name it is. Yes, for example. Yes.
Това, което той добави е, че поради това, че менеджмента не е достатъчно добър, не се спазват процедурите и тъй като там няма достатъчно управляващи професионалисти, процентът на текучество може да скочи до 20%. Това значи, че положението е трагично. Просто нещо там не е както трябва. Или работниците, служителите не им се заплаща достатъчно, или им се бавят бонусите, а бонусите са изключително важни. В, да кажем, тризвезден хотел с около 600